Brian Newell, a 16-year-old clumsy teenager who loves basketball more than anything. Trying to replicate the moves of his favorite athlete, Kevin Durant, he kept falling and missing shots, while his sister Ashley was secretly filming him on camera. The next day at school, Brian was chatting about small things with his best friend Mitch when he suddenly noticed a new beautiful girl walking down the hallway named Isabel Sanchez. Sitting in the cafeteria, Mitch shared that according to reliable information, she had come from Denver with her mother, a flight attendant. Without much hesitation, Brian decided to introduce himself to her, since she didn't know anything about him yet. Just as he walked up hoping to say something clever, the local basketball star Connor turned on a video on the TV, showing Brian's disastrous shot that his sister had recorded. All the students in the cafeteria burst out laughing at him, except for the new girl. Lying at home on his bed in complete depression, his father came into the room and immediately tried to cheer him up. He showed his son 2 tickets to a Thunderbolts basketball game. Finally, something good had happened that day. Brian had a great time watching his favorite basketball player Kevin Durant play, jumping up every time a new basket was scored. Fans got out their ticket stubs for a lucky draw to pick someone for a half-court shot for money. And of course it was Brian's father who got lucky, but he quickly passed his winnings on to his son, since he was such a big fan. To the joyful cheers of the crowd, Brian walked out to the center of the court, where he had to sink the ball on the first try and win $20,000. For this, he was given a special commemorative ball. He got ready, took his run up and threw, hitting the team mascot right in the head, after which the ball bounced straight to Kevin Durant. After the failure, Brian was escorted to the exit where his idol was waiting for him, who gave him a ball with his autograph. But during the handoff of the ball, something supernatural happened between them. Waking up the next morning, Brian didn't feel anything different, but when he went to the bathroom, he was tossing things into the trash and without missing. Then at school during class, he picked up a plastic kidney and started spinning it on his finger without any trouble. That evening, the friends decided to take a walk through the local amusement park, where they saw Connor trying to win a prize for Isabel by throwing balls into a basket. Time after time, he failed and only wasted money. Brian started laughing loudly, and this angered Connor. He threw the ball to Brian and said, "If you're so smart, try sinking it." The first ball went straight in, then the second and third landed exactly where they needed to. Connor walked away offended, and the girl was given a large stuffed panda as a prize. They officially introduced themselves to each other at last. The next day, something strange was happening in the gym. Kevin couldn't seem to get the ball into the basket, while his loyal agent named Alan thought he was just fooling around. After another miss, they had a conversation suggesting it was just the kind of slump that happens to every player in their career, and there was nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, things were going much better for Brian. He noticed he could handle the ball at a professional level, making the most difficult shots and even managing to dunk. In the euphoria of his new abilities, Brian decided to try out for the school basketball team again. The coach and the others were categorically against even a hint of it, so he was challenged to beat Connor one-on-one thanks to his new abilities. It was incredibly easy. Then the heavy artillery stepped in the form of the best former college defenders. But even then, Brian managed to outplay all 3 at once while spectacularly dunking the ball, which not everyone can do. After lunch, the friends decided to film a special trick, where Brian would jump over a car to dunk the ball. Without a shadow of doubt, he ran and soared into the air like a professional NBA player. The time came to test his new abilities in the first qualifying school match against another team. During the game, Connor and the other team members for some reason ignored Brian, not passing the ball even when he was open. This started to really frustrate the coach. He told Connor to pass the ball, or he would just be handing out clean towels. The moment the ball reached Brian, something brilliant started happening that shocked not only the coach, but everyone in the stands. With each passing day, things kept getting better for him and his team. Win after win made him a huge celebrity in his school, which went slightly to his head. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant's situation was only getting worse. The agent even had to invite the athlete's mother to one of the training sessions to try to cheer up her son with some warm chicken soup, since something had to be done. One evening, Alan was watching a satirical show that mocked Durant's playing, showing his funniest failures. And then he saw news about a new rising star, showing stats like those of a young promising basketball player. The host casually said it looked like he had stolen the luck right out of Kevin Durant. After that, Alan compared footage of the shots and was shocked by what he saw. The next day, Alan came to watch Brian's game, and with every basket scored, he saw more and more similarities between the two people. After the game, he decided to share his observations with Kevin. Alan suggested that the kid had somehow managed to take his talent, since before meeting his idol Brian hadn't even been on the team and had been carrying dirty towels. That evening, Isabel and Brian had their first date, happily talking about how they had each lived before meeting one another. Unexpectedly, Alan sat down next to them and colorfully described the kid's flawless playing, then revealed he was Durant's agent. The next day, Alan brought the basketball star to school under the pretense of a social program, but really to get the kid and Durant to meet again and transfer the talent back. In the classroom, they first shook hands, and then Alan did everything he could to get them to touch each other as much as possible trying to exchange energy. After class, Kevin gave his agent a dressing down for bringing him to the school, which caused him to miss yet another league game, and the talent still couldn't be returned. With each new game, the celebrity syndrome kept creeping up on Brian more and more, causing him to stop passing to his teammates. At a party, after another victory, Brian was showing off in front of his friends. Isabel was very unhappy about it, since she wanted to see the modest and decent guy he had been before. When things were in full swing at the party, Alan arrived, immediately insisting that Brian return Durant's luck. Moving away from the crowd, the agent figured out that Brian had not even been on the school team before and couldn't sink a single ball at tryouts, yet now his average was 48 points per game, while Durant couldn't even make a basket before an important upcoming game for the state playoffs. Isabel talked to Brian about how the celebrity syndrome had taken hold of him, and if he kept it up, they would stop talking altogether. After the game, the coach came up to a gloomy Brian. He explained that Brian had made the team because of his talent, which somehow hadn't existed 6 months ago, so he should be happy and stop whining, and that everyone was counting on him. The next day, Brian and the agent went to Durant's training session, where over the course of 3 hours, he couldn't sink a single ball. They explained that they wanted to return the talent, but first had to show the same difficult moves that even Durant himself couldn't always pull off. The first signature 60-second move went in successfully. Next came a dribble, which also ended well, and the cherry on top was his signature 35th fake, which finished with a perfect flight into the hoop. After that, they tried various ways to swap the luck and bad luck back to each other, repeating the words they had said at their very first meeting. Now came the test to see if it had worked. Brian's shot went straight into the basket. Kevin's shot missed as usual. The second remedy was a wishbone that needed to be snapped and a wish made, after which the test once again showed a miss and a hit. Then they tried to build up static electricity by rubbing against the wool rug and then touching each other to feel the static shock. Another attempt showed that nothing had worked. After they finished trying, Kevin said he would have to start over from the very beginning, which greatly upset Brian. That evening, Kevin came to Isabel's home to apologize for his foolish behavior caused by the celebrity syndrome. She invited him inside, where she heard the truth about the stolen talent and the incompetence that had transferred to one of the NBA's best players. Reviewing his worst shot for $20,000, he noticed that the ball had hit the team mascot right in the head and barely visible sparks had appeared. After that, taking the very same ball from their first meeting, he raced at full speed to the basketball arena where a game was taking place. Right during halftime, without stopping, he rode his bicycle directly into the arena and then to the same exit where he had met Durant. Brian explained that for it to work, the ball had to first hit the mascot, which he did, and then they repeated everything they had done at their very first meeting. The miracle happened. Finally, everything changed. Kevin Durant started hitting his shot again, scoring more and more points in the game. The next day, Brian stood next to his old hoop. He tried to shoot, but the clumsiness had returned to him. At school, he tried to apologize to his best friend for ignoring him all that time. Finally, the time came for the last game of their school team before the state playoffs. Brian gave a passionate speech to his teammates about how not only victory, but defeat could happen. During the game, he did everything he could to keep passing the ball back without even trying to shoot it himself. Everyone was, of course, shocked by this behavior. Every time he tried to shoot or even take the ball in his hands, something completely useless came out. The coach, completely on edge, called a timeout where he explained to Brian that everyone was counting on him whether he could shoot or not. Brian's team kept losing, unable to catch up with the opponents in points. At that moment, Kevin Durant himself arrived at the game with his agent to give moral support to their clumsy hero. After that, Brian got a second wind and did everything he could to help his team win, delivering productive passes. Near the end of the match, they managed to catch up with the opposing team on points. In the very last moment, with 3 seconds left, the ball landed with Brian. He took a 3-point shot and finally made it, bringing victory to his team. It was a victory not only for him, but for everyone who believed in and supported him through the hardest time.